Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. Government may sack workers to meet minimum wage demand, says Ngige. Said 580 billion needed annually to pay workers. Minister of Labour and Employment Dr. Chris Ngige on Thursday said that the demand of labour over the implementation of the new minimum wage would cost the federal government 550 billion naira annually. Ngige said that such adjustment in line with labour's demand was not sustainable, as the government would have to lay off some workers to be able to meet their demands. The minister said government cannot afford that kind of money now, adding that the focus of President Muhammadu Buhari's government is on workers on grade level 1, step 1 and level 6, step 1, where the impact of the wage would be felt by workers. The minister disclosed this on Thursday in Abuja when the leadership of United Labour Congress (ULC), led by its president Mr. Joe Ajaero, paid him a courtesy at the ministry. While urging workers to show more understanding to the plight of the federal government, Ngige said the current economic realities may make the new wage bill not feasible. He said that the government was avoiding a situation where it would have to lay off workers, adding that this would add to the burden of the citizenry. Ngige appealed to the Labour to accept the consequential adjustment from level 7 to 17, adding that the federal government had only 3 months left to implement the new minimum wage. He said the government would not tell the Labour leader what it could not pay, stating that no worker deserved to be owed salary. The minister said there is no problem with disagreement in the labour system when can sometimes disagree to later agree on the national minimum wage. It will translate to an additional 580 billion naira if government agrees to the consequential adjustment Labour is proposing. Government cannot afford that kind of money now. Besides, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is more interested in the lowest cadre of workers, which are those on grade level 1, step 1 and level 6, step 1. These are the ones the 30,000 naira will have greater impact on. Government has done their own homework and brought out what they can use to defend this consequential adjustment. Grade 1 to 6 does not have any problem, but 7 to 14 band and 15 to 17 band, this is where we have the problem. Once you finish a minimum wage and go into consequential adjustment, you are trying to reach a collective bargaining agreement, and once you are trying to reach and once you are in, you are the principle of the ability to pay comes in. So if you push government to go and accede to an increment which its resources cannot accommodate, you are indirectly asking them to retrench workers so that the few that are remaining will get this big money. We don't want that. From 2015, the president has made it clear that he is not out to inflict pains on Nigerians, and that he does not want to create unemployment, but even at that, our increase in population is galloping and our resources is not consequentially increasing to meet up the that to meet up that to meet up. That is why we have a lot of unemployed youth on the streets today. We need to arrive at an agreement as soon as possible so that we can use the 2019 budget allocation to deframe this consequential adjustment, because it will be bad if we are unable to do that. It's and we finish this year by December, because the budget cycle is going to return to January, December 2020. So we will have 3 months only before these recurrent funds as well are swept back into government treasury. That is the law. He regretted the inability of the joint negotiating team of both the government and Labour to agree on the consequential adjustments, insisting that the new minimum wage may become bloated by workers on grade level 7 to 14 and 15 to 17. Already, organized labor has started mobilizing their members to embark on strike on the 16th of this month. Ajaero, in his remarks, appealed to the minister for prompt payments of the new minimum wage, stressing that the private sector must also be compelled to pay the 30,000 naira wage. He said that there was need to review obsolete laws that were not in tune with present reality, adding that a situation where some private sectors paid their employees 10,000 naira and 15,000 naira was unacceptable. So guys, that is what the government is saying, that for them to meet up the consequential, the adjustments of the minimum wage by the labor, the demand of the labor, that means some people, some workers, will be sacked for them to be able to make that, to meet up that demand. That is what the Minister of Labor, Ngige, was trying to tell the ULC president, Ajaero. But if you look at what they are talking about, that the Buhari administration or the Buhari himself said he doesn't want to inflict a pain on the lives of people, to make their case worsen. But what are we experiencing? A lot of things that they have done. So it is not, the pain is already there. They've already inflicted that pain. People are already experiencing that pain. So it is not now they want to start telling us. So do they want to tell us now that people are living in plenty, or people are living in penury? Is that what they are trying to tell us? And now when they are talking about level 1 to 6, that from 7 to 14 they will not be able to meet up. So are those people, are they not human being? Are they not human being? Are they not part of the workers? So what are you trying to say? What is good for A is good for B. So you just have to do that, because they came on the mantra that they are going to make change. That change is what they are going to do compared to what has been happening before. But now what can you see? What do you see? It is nothing. It is just from fry pan to fire. And come to think of it, that a lot of people are are unemployed. Who created the unemployment? The unemployment now, it's at its peak compared to what we have before. Now they themselves cannot adjust, but they can have money to pay themselves. Even the Ngige that is talking, do you know how many pensions and all of that he has been receiving? Because this is not his first time. He has been holding one position or the other before now. So what do we have to say to that? You guys, your salaries, you never skipped it. Now even the 18,000 naira, they can't even pay it. A lot of state governments cannot even pay it, but they are getting their own salary. They've structured the budget, they've structured everything to fit in their own demand, and their salary can never be skipped. There is no month that you will hear or you've ever heard about the governors or all these top cadres of these government officials complaining that they have not been paid their salary, from the presidents to the vice presidents and governors, commissioners, ministers, name them. Their salary never skipped. So what are you telling the people? The ones that are down, you can't even take care of them. It's very, very unfortunate. So why didn't they tell them from the beginning that they cannot afford all of that? Before the election, when they said the president signed the agreement or the demand of a labor, they were happy, because that's at that time the labor said they were going on strike. But immediately they just signed it. They said, can you imagine? People, like, a lot of people were like, it is because of the election, that was why they signed it. Some people said, no, some people are just there to just taint the image of this government. How can you say that? But he has done it. He has already approved it. After election, we started hearing stories. So the people that said it was just a gimmick, it was just a scam, that because of the election, that was why he approved it. Are they not right? They are very, very correct. And that is what is happening now. But as at that time, they didn't do their homework thoroughly before Buhari approved it before 2019 election. They didn't know that they could not pay, that this is what is going to have to eat. They didn't say that. Now they have they've come back for the second time. They've been sworn in, and now they are telling you that that they have already mapped past their own plan, the set of people they can pay the minimum wage, the other ones that they cannot do that unless they want some people to be sacked. They want some people to be sacked. Even some of them that are still working, are they even getting their salaries as at when due? No, they are not getting it. They are not getting it as at when due. And a lot of people are still just complaining. Some people are not just surprised because that is what they have known right from time. And come to think of it again, the response of the ULC, the Ajero, ULC president, even the NLC, you can see that these guys are not serious. See, you cannot even, you know, stand your ground that these politicians that are receiving big salaries, that they should stop it. They should look for a way to stop it. Now they are not saying anything. You are just keeping quiet. It's like they are afraid. I saw one woman on national TV, on Channels Television. They were asking her, why is it that you guys cannot just talk of the kind of salaries, the amount of salary or the amount of money that all these governors are receiving? And they will tell you that they cannot pay salaries. The woman was like, we can't do anything. That if you just want to push it, that a lot of times that people have been telling them this kind of a thing, that a lot of times when they want to push it, and before you know it, some people will just come behind, they will try to intimidate you and all of that. They are afraid. They can't do that. You guys, they can't do that. And from then, it's confirmed what people have been saying, that these people, it's not as if they are afraid, but there's something that is wrong, that area they cannot just even say, let the government, the governors, or the political elite, political whatever appointees, all those politicians, let's just use that word, let them reduce their salaries. That is just what they need to be even emphasizing on. Somebody even is of the opinion that there's no even need to increase the minimum wage, that even the 18,000 they are collecting, that if all the social amenities, if they can subsidize all of those things, making sure that the economy is okay, food are cheap, these are cheap, all those things, those are the things that they are even supposed to be pushing on. Good governance. Because even when they increase, that is some people opinion, that even when they increase the minimum wage, definitely a lot of things will go up. A lot of things will skyrocket, the prices will go up again, so everybody will still come back to the same level again, or even from fry pan to fire. It will still amount to nothing. That what labor needs to do is to make sure, or call the government to do the needful, subsidize a lot of things, so that even the 18,000 naira you are holding, it will go a long way. Even if you get 10,000 naira, it will go a long way when things are cheap, when things are okay. The issue of a house rent, the issue of a school fees, the issue of a whatever, all those things that we buy day in, day out. If those things are affordable, even what they are getting now, it will even sustain them. That even if they increase the salary or they increase the minimum wage, definitely a lot of things will just skyrocket. And apart from that, a lot of people will just be inflating once they just hear that, oh, minimum wage has been increased. Everybody, market women, everybody starts increasing their own prices. The landlords too, everything. Oh, the transporter, the same thing. So those are the areas they really need to look into, so that they'll be able to regulate all of those things. But they're not doing that. I don't just know. That is why we see the truth and we just look the other side. They know all of this, but they don't just want to do it. Even the so-called people that are labor leaders, they are not even helping matter, because they don't even know what they are even doing. So what the government is saying is that for us to meet up your demands, some people must be sacked, so that the remaining one, they will be able to get that. And apart from that, from level 1 to 6, those are the people that they can fend for. But from 17 to from level 7 upward, they can't do anything about it. So guys, I don't know what you think about that, whether that is a good option or whether it is a scam already, or the labor has already made a mistake, or they are not doing it the right way, because it's like the government needs a higher hand. I don't know how they will go about that. So guys, I would like to hear from you what you think about the option of the government, federal government, on this minimum wage. Leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.